Hello, people of the world. Tom Brown here. I am on my way into town again. Today was kind of a. I got to be honest. Today was kind of a just a huge hassle for me. Yesterday, we drove to Flagstaff and picked up the solar array. So it comes with 16 really sweet panels. They are 383 watt, I think.
Text message from Sarah.
And they're, I think they're 3x5. They're bigger than the normal panels, but anyway, I got 18 of those. Did I say 16? 18 of those, and my Solarc 12,000 kW hybrid inverter charger. Basically, it does everything. It's an inverter, so it inverts the DC voltage coming in from the solar array into AC voltage, which I can use when I hook up to the house, to run all my regular residential stuff. Plus, it's a battery charger that charges my power wall, which is a humongous 575 pound mammoth. I mean, anyway, so I got some big, heavy, thick cables that hook into from the power wall into the inverter to charge it, and also to when it's dark out and there's no solar coming in, no solar power DC voltage coming in from the solar array, it then switches over to the battery and switches the battery voltage, DC voltage, to AC voltage for nighttime use. But I tell you what, being a one-man show, it was quite difficult moving the power wall from my trailer. I mean, those guys yesterday when I went into Flagstaff, I mean, they have forklifts and everything, and it was all on a pallet and a special made like box, and they just put the pallet forks in, lift it up, and put it on my trailer, and then they slid it back towards the center of my trailer when they put the solar panels on. And it took a minute, but getting it off the trailer today, I mean, I do have a big backhoe piece of equipment, which this is the only thing really that saved my life. But so I was able to grab it fairly easily with the bucket of the backhoe, pick it up off of the trailer, drive it around to the backyard. It's it's supposed to be, you're not supposed to have it in the weather, dust and rain and that type of thing. And I could have probably left it outside for a couple days, but I wanted to get it undercover. The thing cost me $12,000 for the dang battery, so I wanted to make sure it got out of the elements, into the shed, the makeshift shed that I'm using right now until my new shed comes. But it just turned into being a nightmare, to be honest. If I was smart, I would have probably kept it in the problem is when they loaded it in the forklift, I have pictures, and I'll load the pictures onto the video, but the thing was laying down on its back, like horizontal, and when you stand it up and roll it around on its wheels, it's vertical. So I didn't want to use the box that it was in and unpackage it in the shed and then have to stand it up in the shed because the thing is so dang heavy. So I put it down horizontally, how it came when they picked it up with the forklifts, and then I unscrewed the pallet and all the packaging, because it was like a wood box packaging with foam. So I unscrewed all that, and then I exposed the actual unit, and then I had to stand it upright. And I'm so frustrated right now. I don't know if anybody can tell, but I'm having a hard time finding words right now, because I'm just really kind of livid. You know, I paid $12,000 damn dollars for the stupid battery, and the thing weighs almost 600 pounds. The damn engineers that designed the stupid thing, you know, for that kind of money, they could have put in a couple of eye bolts or hooks or something to strap onto, to use some straps and some hooks to move it around. But there was nothing. It's just I will, like I said, I'll take a video, or I'll take a couple snapshots so you guys can see exactly what it looks like. I mean, I have big heavy duty straps, and I have a come along, and I have a backhoe, and I got all that. But when you're trying to lift something up and down, and, you know, pick it from being vertical to horizontal and lift it up and move it around, but no hooks on it, especially when it's almost 600 pounds. I mean, that's just stupid. It's really just, it's a stupid design. And as soon as I get a chance, I'm going to call the company, the manufacturers that make that battery, and I'm going to let them know just exactly how stupid I think it is. I mean, it's a lithium ion battery, and, you know, I don't have any opinion yet on whether or not the battery is sweet. I'm sure it is. I mean, that's the whole reason why I paid so much for it. But the whole transporting it and moving it around, it's asinine. It took me literally from about 8 o'clock this morning until 1 p.m. to get the thing off my trailer, around the back side of the house, which that only took me a few minutes. But getting it out of the box, stood upright, and then getting it into the shed with the arm of my backhoe was ridiculous. It was just literally ridiculous. It was so heavy that when I picked it up with the arm, my backhoe digging arm, I mean, it's a pretty big backhoe. You guys have seen it in the other videos. I could not drive the backhoe with the arm extended, picking up the battery. It's so heavy that the backhoe just wanted to tip over. So I had to use the outriggers on the backhoe in order to not fall forward. But in doing that, it has a little like 4-foot boom arm on it. And so that was the only way I could move it. So it was really frustrating and really ridiculous having to move that thing. So I had to vent. I'm sorry. It's one thing about, I've said before, it's not easy. If it would, more people would be doing this. But when it comes to like moving big equipment around and oh, it is hot here. Hang on, people. I gotta turn this down. Whew. Oh, max AC. When it comes to, those big water containers and stuff, they were simple to move compared to that little tiny thing. I mean, it's just so heavy and awkward. I'm really unhappy with the fact that it did not have any hooks to pick it up. I'm an electrician by trade. I've been an electrician since like 1980, let's see. 1998. I've been an electrician since 1998. And in that time, I have moved some heavy equipment. I mean, real heavy. Big, huge, 1500 amp transfer switches for hospitals and stuff like that. I used a forklift and a boom and all that. And every time you get a piece of heavy equipment, it always comes with hooks for carrying it. Hooks so you can, or bolt holes. It'll come with bolt holes where you can put, like a 1/2 inch or 3/8 inch threaded eye hook in there to have something to lift up on. And I've never had a piece of equipment like that not have a way to lift it up and down. And besides that, the little teeny tiny wheels that are on this thing, I'll take a picture of it so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. The wheels that this thing is supposed to roll around on are like, they're smaller and cheaper than like roller skate wheels. That's how bad it is. And I was thinking about getting a different battery when I first started doing all the research. The guy from the company that I ordered from, he kind of talked me into getting the battery that I got, because it's all designed as one engineered unit, and it's all the parts are made to go together, and it's what they call a closed loop system, to where the battery and the voltage on the charger coincide with each other, so it increases the lifespan of the equipment. And so he was telling me, he's like, oh, this is really good stuff, that other battery that you were just telling me about that you were looking at, that's all made overseas and this and that, and you really don't want to use that equipment if you don't have to. I thought I had a flat tire there. And so he says, if you get the battery that I was telling you about just now, it's gonna be good. It'll make your equipment last longer. The battery itself will last longer because it's getting the right charge from the right charger. So, all that sounded real good to me. I spent twice as much money on the battery because of that fact as I would have the regular batteries that I was researching before I decided to go with the one I went with. I could have got twice as much amp hours for the same price for $12,000. Actually, it would have been like $500 cheaper. I could have gotten 1,200 amp hours of battery storage at 48 volts versus, I think the one I have is 670 amp hours at 48 volts. So I mean, it's a good battery, but I'm just, after the day I've had right now today, I just want to just flip out kind of at the people and the manufacturers who made that thing. All they got to do is just stick in a couple little threaded holes into the frame, something you can screw an eye hook into, an eye bolt, and be able to strap on some hooks. I mean, I'm no slouch. I've moved lots of heavy equipment. I've done lots of rigging. I have a rigging certificate. And, rigging to me is no big deal. But I had the worst time with that thing because it just kept wanting to, luckily I found a couple other straps and it kind of saved my life, but it just kept wanting to tip one way or the other and slip out of the straps because the thing is square. And anyway, that's enough of that. You guys got the point. You got the picture. What I really need to do is call the company and vent on them. But anyway, so after having said all that, the solar array is at the house, at the property. It's all unloaded. It's in the backyard where it's going to be going. Me and Eben unloaded all the panels last night. He helped me move the battery today. So all the equipment's there. Today's Friday. I'm running into town right now to pick up my wife's new appliances. They're at Sears waiting to be picked up, and she's been cooking off of a Coleman camp stove for like maybe however long we've been there, almost 2 weeks, maybe 12 days or something like that. I've lost track of time, but ever since we've been there, she's been cooking off of a Coleman stove with the little green bottles, and she's been making a lot of like homemade meals, but she's been making them in the she has an Instapot, so she's been making a lot of those Instapot meals. So it'll be nice for her to be able to have a regular stove to cook with. It's going to be an electric stove, and it's a new one. It's black to match her new charcoal gray or black refrigerator that she ordered. So anyway, I'm heading to town to pick those up right now, and I got to get more supplies while I'm in town. I've got to get some more pipe, electrical pipe, some more plumbing fittings, because I'm right at the point now where I'm getting ready to hook in the 2,500 gallon holding tank. I've got the pressurized pump installed temporarily, and so before the weekend's over, I'm gonna have the water hooked up to the house, and I'm gonna have the new appliances installed so she can do laundry. I'm meeting her in town right now because she's in town doing laundry. She couldn't wait anymore. I told her, give me a couple more days, and but she wanted to go and get it done. So she's already in town. I'm going to town right now to pick up her appliances, and while I'm there, I'm going to get some plumbing parts, some electrical supplies, and I'm probably going to get I'm probably going to go ahead and grab the other 2,500 gallon water storage tank while I'm in town, because when I go to town with my trailer, it just takes longer. It takes way longer. Not way longer, but as least amount of trips as I can make with the trailer, the better, because it's so stiff and rigid. I mean, it bounces and rattles all over the place from the few rough spots in the road, and I've got to drive kind of slow if I'm carrying precious cargo. If I'm carrying just whatever pipe and regular like rough-in materials, I don't really care. I can go over the bumps fairly fast, but like today, I'm going to be having new appliances in the truck and in the trailer, so I'm going to have to go slow, and I don't want to be making too many more dang trips with the trailer into town. So I'm gonna try to pick up the big water holding tank and the appliances and the extra conduit and all that while I'm in town, just to kind of do it all in one trip. Probably won't be back till late. It's like 2:50 in the afternoon right now, and so we probably won't be back until, I don't know, 8 maybe. So anyway, I still have to get a water softener and a reverse osmosis filter for the water system. I told you before that there was those little tiny pearls. They were whatchamacallit, the calcium pearls, calcium buildup. We took a sample of our water into the water place in town, and the guy said like it was off the charts. The calcium, the amount of calcium in the water was like way through the roof. Like the normal water in the town whereby we live, in the main big town, is like 30 parts per million or something like that. And for the calcium, and we're at like 600. So I mean, it's just an unbelievable amount. And I think part of that is due to is from when we pushed the deep well pump motor down in through the plastic pipe. I think it stirred up a lot of the calcium that was built up on the edges of the PVC pipe for the well, because it's been in there for like since 1991, so over 20 years, and nobody's lived. The house has been vacant for like 17 years. So in that amount of time, I'm just guessing that there's quite a bit of like buildup of calcium on the inside edges of that pipe. So because that was like the initial pumping out of the well that we did, was that amount of calcium. But since then, we actually took another sample and we ran it through just like a little, like I don't know, $50-$60 cartridge filter that I put right above the well cap, and it was a whole lot less milky colored. So I think that first reading was a little bit off from the actual amount of calcium in the water. So we'll see what happens. But either way, we gotta have, we're gonna get a water softener, and we're gonna get a reverse osmosis system. And telling you, we've had a hell of a hard time trying to get people to return our calls. I mean, we're asking, my wife contacted the people in town that are like the main people for like water filtration, and she's called the guy and left him like 2 or 3 messages. He hasn't called back yet. So I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if he's just so busy he hasn't gotten back to us, or if maybe he doesn't want to tell us that he can't get systems right now because of back orders, or I don't really know what the problem is. But we don't really want to go like Home Depot or big box store system. We want something a little more quality and a little larger. So we're trying to get these people to respond to us, and they haven't yet. So we'll see what happens with that. But anyway, there she is, my wife. So anyway, gotta go for now, guys. Have a good day.